Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Winslow, and I am here with the Unchargeables. This is our plugged-in episode, and we're going to discuss physical therapy. So Miss Catherine is going to start us off.
All right, there we go. Hi, I'm Catherine, and I'm an unchargeable. I have fibromyalgia and a bunch of other things that is too long to even get into. Um, and our topic this week is physical therapy, which I'm a big proponent for. Anything from massage therapy to infrared therapy to aromatherapy, whatever therapy I can think of, I've tried them all. And some have worked, some have not. But I'll pass this on to Kate so she can introduce herself. And then I'll see you in the next round.
Hey everybody, it's Kate. I am a unchargeable or a chargee from Michigan. 27. I have hydrocephalus, PCOS, and a few other things. Lots of fun, lots of fun. And like Catherine and Winslow said, our topic today is physical therapy. A friend of mine is actually going to school to become a physical therapist, and she knows that I have several chronic illnesses, and she knows I've gone to physical therapy for this, that, and the other thing. So she asked me to ask everybody else what is the one thing you want your physical therapist to know about you and your pain when you're seeing someone? Because we're not like everybody else. Our pain thresholds aren't the same. What hurts you may not hurt me, and vice versa. So, without further ado, Catherine, what have you experienced with physical therapy? What would you want your physical therapist to know?
Well, you got a good point. Everybody's pain threshold is different. Everybody's pain is different. For me, it's very important for them to understand fibromyalgia because that's my biggest thing that I'm dealing with. Second to that is I just found out that I have bone-on-bone issues with my sacroiliac, and that's a mouthful in itself. But basically, that's where your pelvis and your spine come together. And I have it bilaterally, both sides. So, just for the therapist to be able to sit down and listen so I can explain where all my aches and pains are, what levels I get to in certain areas, what I've tried before, as far as initial sit down with them, and then work from there. For me, heat works better than cold, and movement works better than not moving it. So I've come to learn to try alternatives because sometimes the traditional physical therapy just doesn't stretch the muscle the way it needs to be stretched, or get the joint moving if it's been locked up for a while. So as long as they know that everyone is different and to be prepared for that, I think your friend will make an excellent physical therapist. For me lately, it's really weird. I just got back from 2 weeks on a cruise, and I fell in love with Russian vanilla tea, and just smelling it does tremendous things for me. It just inhaling it and sipping it, it really relaxes me. And needless to say, I brought back a whole bunch of it. But so it's different things. And I would like to be able to say that this will work for everyone with fibromyalgia, but I can't. I use a lot of biofreeze. I call it my crack. I don't know if I could say that or not, but call it that, because I use a lot of it. My doctor has upped me up to lidocaine 5%. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I get an opposite reaction where it causes more pain than relieving pain. I'm going to have a long talk with my pain management on that next month. But it's a try and try again type thing. But I know that aromatherapy helps me a lot to ease the tension, and movement helps a lot so I don't get locked joints or don't get inflammation in the joints. I'm starting something new, which I'm going to try the anti-inflammation diet. So I'm doing some reading up on it and see if that helps me in any way. I have also got, this is something else, but it's food therapy as far as I'm concerned. I discovered while we were on this trip that dates actually control my IBSD, which I found that weird, but it does. So I feel like a whole new woman now. But for me, it's just for the therapist to take that time and invest that first 2 or 3 appointments to say, okay, let's start from the top of the head and work our way down. And if they do that, that's great. Back to you, Kate.
That's a really good point, and actually somebody in the group, because I put the question in our group, someone in the group said that, yeah, talking with me every day, because every day my pain isn't the same. Every day I can't do the same things. Yes, I know the exercises are good for me, but sometimes it's more of a struggle to get through. How about you, Winslow?
Well, thank you, Miss Kate. Thank you, Catherine. My experience with physical therapy has been recent. I always thought physical therapists were these people that went and just made you exercise. I worked in geriatrics before I became ill, and they always walked around with our residents and worked with them and rehabilitation. And I had a totally different idea of what it was, and then I became ill and had to do it myself. And my advice to the community is just it's a very viable, excellent option for you if you have any mobility issues, if you have pain. I have Addison's disease and medullary sponge kidney, so I have myofascial pain in the chronic kidney stones, and I'm on lifelong steroid therapy, which causes something called steroid myopathy, which is basically cortisol kind of eats away at your muscles. So I've lost a lot of mobility and a lot of ability to walk and all that fun stuff. So I've had to kind of rebuild my strength. And if your physical therapist is not a good match for you, if you feel like they don't understand you, you can always be your own advocate, and you can always say, I think you're too tough on me, or I think, you may not understand my illness. Fortunately, my physical therapist was on steroid therapy before, short term, of course, but she understands kind of the limitations and some issues that I have. With my illness, it's not only painful, but it's life-threatening. So with Addison's disease, if you push your body too far, you'll go into what's called an Addison's crisis, and it's life-threatening. So She has a fortunate understanding of my illness, and like Catherine said, I think you have to have that initial conversation with them. Never be afraid to say, you know, I don't think you're the right physical therapist for me. There are many people that just don't click with other people, and it's not that anybody's good, bad, or indifferent, but we're all different. And if you don't feel like someone understands you or your condition, then you need to find somebody who does, because physical therapy is a great option. But if someone doesn't understand your condition and they're not going to treat you with respect, then they're not the right physical therapist. So that's my take on it. So thank you for tuning in today. I want to thank my panel here, Ms. Catherine and Ms. Kate. So if you have any questions, feel free to post in the comments, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.